Today, I'm here to talk about one of the things that you cannot overlook when it comes to growing your membership site, and that is SEO. Now, first, I'm going to share with you my two stories of SEO success over the lifetime of my business, now and when I first started out. And I want to share with you this because it is so valuable that you can't afford to overlook SEO as a source of hot leads for your membership program and anything else you're selling in your online business. All right, so let's dive in. A million years ago, when I first started my business, I had two things that I started doing. One, I started an email list and I started emailing everybody I knew once a month for year after year after year. And the second thing I did was get my website up. And I started to blog post semi-regularly. Now, blogging was something that I wasn't really passionate about. I wasn't a blogger at all, but I'd always written all my life, like in a journal, you name it, and I read a lot. So I thought, well, I can do this blogging thing. So I did a little bit of research, just a minor amount, and started writing blog posts on various things over the course of my first few years of business. And guess what happened? Within a couple of years, without even realizing it, my site was starting to rank very high for a very important keyword, business coach. And yes, it was ranking locally. I was getting a ton of people from the Vancouver area, which is a metro area of several million people, finding my site number one when they were hitting in business coach. That was amazing because those were people who had a very high intent towards getting somebody to help them with their business. So that was invaluable because I wasn't spending any amount of money to get those people to come in and book a call with me. So, of course, that only worked so well as my copy on the rest of my site attracted them towards me to taking that final step of booking a call, because you can bring the whole world back to your website. And if your sales page doesn't entice them to the next step, if your copy doesn't really resonate with them, it's not going to get you very far. However, I know how hard it is to get traffic. I spend tons of money on Facebook ads and all kinds of things. I do YouTube videos, I do a podcast, all these things in order to get people to learn about me in the first place. And you cannot overlook the really hotter, warmer leads who are doing their research on search engines because they're looking for help. So that was my first go at SEO. And when I did slightly improve it, I just made sure that I had some of the right keywords that I would need to have on there for people to be able to use those and have my site rank for it. So then about 5 years ago, I niched down to memberships. I wanted to help membership owners specifically growing their membership business online. And that was a big leap because I was now going to destroy all the perfect SEO I'd had from previously, because at that point I was starting to get found for the key term business strategist from further afield across the country, down to the US and other places. And that was really exciting because, again, I was attracting really high intent people who are looking for a business strategist. So when I niched down to memberships, I thought, I'm going to wreck all this because now I'm starting over. But guess what? It wasn't that bad, and it didn't take that long for me to start ranking. Now, here's how it worked for me the second time I did it. I still had great blog posts. I created about 5 or so core blog posts that were on really good keywords, that were well written and full of information, so that anyone who could come across them would be able to find good information and be like, wow, she knows her stuff. What else does she have? So I started doing that. But guess what? That wasn't even what worked really well, because competing with words like membership site are really challenging. I'm now competing with all the people and all the platforms that are trying to sell software, and there are huge businesses with deep pockets, let alone things like memberships in general, like gyms and Costco and all that stuff, and that aren't even related to the online education space that I'm in. So you really have to get clear on your keywords. Memberships in general just are not even the right ones for me. Membership site is more what I'm aiming for, but even that is impossible. So guess what happened? I wrote a blog post on how to start switching from coaching to a membership site, and then I started getting found for the key term membership coach. That was a little gem. I had no intention of getting found for that keyword term. It's a really small term. There's not a high amount of search volume on it. There's not a ton of people looking for membership coaches, but it's okay because the people who are really need support. And guess what happens? They find me, which is perfect. They're super warm leads. They're hot buyers. They're people who really want help now. They're in pain, or they're just people who want to make stuff happen fast. They get onto that blog post and then they get onto my main offers to see what I have to offer. So that really fills in a lot of gaps. So if the market is a bit slow, or if Facebook ads aren't working, or I've got a break in giving any kind of webinar or anything for membership school, and I'm not really selling right now, I'll still have people get into my funnel and also just book consults with me because of that search term. All right. So this is why you cannot not have it. It doesn't matter what your topic is. You can find a way to get organic search traffic, not hustling on the social media platforms for eyeballs and then hoping that they cross over and jump on over to your website and get into your email funnel. This is on the web. This is just by people in searching in the background, and you're not doing anything else for it, because once you write a really good blog post and then update the copy on your website just to make sure that it really does continue them along and keeping to resonate with them and the things they're struggling with, and then helping them get to know you through well-written copy, you're going to get that working for you passively in the background. And that is worth gold in the online space, especially as advertising gets more and more expensive. So how do you do it? Can you do it all on your own? Yes and no. It can be a little bit complicated if you're not really well-versed in SEO. I have to admit that I know some because I've been doing it for long enough, but I'm no expert. And I also don't like the technical details. So I don't take it to the nth degree. I probably do step 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm like, that's just too much. So just a few things that you can do to get started is understand your keywords. What are the words that you have a chance of getting ranked for? And how can you pepper them around on your site so that your core pages are using those keywords? That is short tail keywords, and I'm not going to explain that much more about it, but I'm going to give you a resource that can. And those are important to have in your website so that at least you're being recognized for the key terms that represent your work, how you can help people and your industry. And then you want to look at the long tail keywords. So what are the things that you're going to write about? What are the topics people are passively looking for support on and information about? And that's what you want to use to write a bunch of different blog posts and have some really juicy reading for people so that they can learn more and then get into your funnel, or help the search engines to decide that you've got great information and they want to keep sending people back to you. That's not that hard to do, and it doesn't take that long. Again, you only need a few core search terms to make that work for you. And I also recommend getting help. Now, if you head on over to scalingdeep.com/resources, I have a link to a company called Pathfinder that for, at the time, $97 a month, were able to help with my SEO, including how to clean up my site so that people don't jump on it and then get like 404 page doesn't exist errors and things like that, which the search engines don't like, and they will penalize you for it. Making sure that there's not like broken links everywhere and all that. And then making sure the core search terms are there, and then researching all the other things to optimize it and help my ranking go higher and higher and higher in a bunch of different keyword terms. They were so helpful and they were so detailed and technical, and they gave me all the steps to getting my site optimized in a way so it could really be working for me. So I highly recommend you go out there and do that. It's worth having. It's a short-term bit of work for long-term gain as it keeps working for you over and over again over time. And there's nothing more valuable than having a really strong website. And then I want you to learn more about Membership School and the Scaling Deep Society, because inside it, not only do I help you design and set up the perfect membership program for you and your ideal members and teach you how to sell it, I also teach you how to write copy so that you can have an irresistible website and sales page for your membership program so that it starts converting at a rate that allows you to grow sustainably and profitably. All you need to do is get into my free training at scalingdeep.com/training to get signed up for that. And then you can learn more about how I started my membership, with little or no content, and how I started to sell it via evergreen webinar, all this stuff working for me in the background in my sleep. That's what I want for you. I want to make growth easy for you so that you're not always having to work at it. You're not always have to show up on social media and talk about all the things that you don't want to talk about over and over again just to get a few eyeballs on you. I want to help you with some systems that can work for you effectively and consistently in the background. So I'll see you over at scalingdeep.com/training. Get going on that SEO stuff. It'll be worth it in the long run. Bye for now.